Bitcoin is right now doing something so insane, you will literally not be able to sit normally for days after you watch this video. And this is only the third time in the last 2+ months that this has happened, and it has ended the same each and every time. But what if I told you that this time might be different? And I know you've heard that before, but what if I also told you that we will know in just moments if it will actually be different or not, and all you have to do is watch for this to happen. So sit down, strap in, strap on, and send your lover a breakup text, because we are about to be billionaires. Right now, the Bitcoin price is truly on the verge of something gargantuan. And guys, I'm not pulling your tail, I'm not yanking your chain. This is actually pretty big, okay? A lot of times in crypto, things are very big, but I'm not even joking right now. This is so big, you can't even imagine how big this is. So the first thing we see with Bitcoin is that besides the fact I mean, let's be honest, if we zoom out a little bit, this is not really a part of the analysis, but I do want to start off by saying this. Do you feel the little shift in the air, right? It might be hard to pinpoint. You might feel yourself fighting against it, but do you feel as though something is shifting a little bit? Let's be honest, that doesn't matter. However, something very big is actually happening on these charts. And for the past couple of months, we have seen Bitcoin inch and squinch its way up to different descending levels of resistance that it has ultimately broken down from every single time. And just in the last 3 months, it's happened only 2 other times. Well, technically 3 other times. Right now, we're on the verge of doing that again. If we zoom in here, you can see truly we are about literally less than $100 away from retesting the top of this very long-term descending level of resistance for Bitcoin. And what I said in the intro is that we'll find out very soon. Absolutely, we will find out very soon, because if we do get that rejection, we will see that happen very shortly here. At which point, if we see another rejection off of the top of this line here, if we see another rejection on this line right here, Bitcoin very likely will go below, down to about $15,000 again if we get rejected here. At the very least, it could go even lower than that if this rejection actually plays out. So again, if we look on even a shorter term chart, on the 4-hour chart, you can see very clearly here. This is all the way back November 6th, so about 2 months ago. And then this is about December 14th, so a little less than a month ago right here. And we're approaching the same line again after, as we all know, the most sideways action we've seen since a typical Saturday night, if you know what I mean. And here we are. We're giving it another go right here. And as usual, we are seeing altcoins pump. For example, ADA is up. I mean, just in the last less than a week, it's up almost 15%, right? We're seeing altcoins kind of do a little something here. But this is a big moment, because another rejection here, undoubtedly, I think, will put us into another leg lower. But any sort of concrete breakout here is going to be huge. For example, less than a month ago, Bitcoin went above 18,000 again, and then it got rejected. If Bitcoin gets above even 17,000 at this point, that is more of a confirmation of a breakout than it was back when Bitcoin got above 18,000 less than a month ago, because of these descending levels of resistance. So bear markets are not fun. They're absolutely, obviously pretty boring. But the good thing about downtrends and bear markets, the good thing about downtrends is that basically our standards get lower every time that we get rejected. Basically what I'm saying is you can see this descending level of resistance. For Bitcoin to actually start to begin a breakout, it needs to break levels lower each time. Whereas right now we would need to break about 17,000 to potentially start a short-term relief bounce or something like that, a nice uptrend for a couple weeks potentially. Back here, we broke 17,000. It didn't matter because there was not a trend line there. It wasn't a level that really mattered. The level that mattered was right about here at about 18,000, 18,000.3 or 4, and we got rejected there and quickly got dumped on. And now the goalpost has moved, because that's just how trend lines work. For example, I think a lot of people would agree that if Bitcoin broke out to 18,000 right now, that is a much more concrete chance of a breakout than it was back here less than a month ago. And so that's very big. And as well, if you're interested in trying to trade this, even just spot, right? 0 fees for spot trading on both BITGET and BitGet. There's a tutorial popping up above as well. Massive bonuses, but 0 fees for spot trading. Absolutely gargantuan. But again, if we zoom out, because again, we look at this is the 4-hour chart. We're looking at the daily right here. I try to keep it more towards longer charts. This is the 10-day chart. And we've seen Bitcoin get rejected. This blue line has gotten rejected every single time since Bitcoin has entered this bear market. If you want to consider it like middle of 2021 or towards the end of 2021, Bitcoin has gotten rejected. This line has gotten rejected every single time. Most recently, it was rejected back at the end of October. And right now, quickly, what we will see, if Bitcoin even has a bounce up to 17, 18, especially even to $20,000, is we will see this trend line, this moving average quickly cross up here. And I mean, I think it's very clear that if that is the case, that's the very first time. And again, I'm not saying a new bull market, absolutely not. But what I'm saying is it was the very first time that we've seen that since when? Since back here when Bitcoin went from 29,000 up to 69,000. Nice, very nice. And that was the very last time that these moving averages crossed bullish, where we had a very massive trading opportunity, a very massive opportunity to cash out a little bit. It was the highest the market went, especially for altcoins. Altcoins went completely bananas times 10 up here. And all I'm saying is that we do have the potential to have a very strong relief rally. Now, the one thing I do think is very important is that, the stock market does not look good. For example, if we take a look, we just got, as we talked about, this bearish cross for the first time since September 15th here. There's September 16th. The 16th of September. We just got this bearish cross yesterday. And again, the big question now is, will this time be different? Because we've gotten this cross multiple times, all beginning in 2022, January 2022, and then again in May 2022, then in September 2022, and now in January 2023. Will this time be different? And the thing is, it doesn't necessarily guarantee that if this time is not different, that it will affect Bitcoin. Basically meaning, as I said, I personally think, I've been saying this for weeks, but I personally think there will be a time in this bear market that Bitcoin has a relief that decouples away from the stock market temporarily. I'm not saying that we're about to see the biggest decoupling of all time. That would be amazing. I would love that. I don't see much evidence for that, but I do think temporarily, as we have seen hints of in the past, because we have seen little very small days and even sometimes very short weeks of decoupling. And I think that Bitcoin will do that. And again, honestly, Bitcoin is decoupled right now from the stock market because it's lower than the stock market because of FTX. Bitcoin was following exactly the SPX, and then when FTX happened, Bitcoin and crypto itself got dragged to another new leg lower, and we're still currently in that lower leg, to where if we're truly even following the stock market, Bitcoin should be back around 20K. Because we've been decoupled in a bad way, basically, for the last 2 months. So you guys in the channel, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on those ghost notifications, turn this absolutely time-sensitive alerts, take advantage of massive deposit bonuses, and even just free sign-up bonuses with Bybit and BitGet below. In addition, 0 fees for trading spot on both of those exchanges. Absolutely massive. Without any further ado, that's it for me.